My name is Sunil, as you already know. I also known as Power Trainer. Here are some of my social media handles. Feel free to check those out. And I do post videos on YouTube as well. If you like it, feel free to upload those. And today's topic is around Power Platform, sharing Power Apps with external users. Now, this is one of the very genuine use case which we see across industry, across different projects, across different clients when they say that our Power Apps, whatever we are building, is not only going to be used by the internal users, but we have to make them available to the external users as well. Now, this feature is there in Power Apps for more than 2 years now. This was there from the starting as well. How to accomplish that? We will quickly see that. This particular event is going to be a very simple event, a very simple showcase, a demo where I will be showcasing creating an application, and we'll go through the steps how we actually go ahead and share with the users, external users, and how external users will be able to use these as well. Right? We'll talk about a license. We'll talk about the licensing also a little bit at the end of it. That will give you a better idea as well from that perspective too. I will quickly go ahead and bring my other screen here. So this is me in my particular one tenant. This is tenant one, you can say, uh, which is called trainer tenant. Okay, here what I have is one simple SharePoint site created, and there is just one list created out of this. Now, this particular demo is based on SharePoint, but this can be done even on Dataverse, even on SQL as well, or any other database if you have. It is as similar as in this way, it can be done for those as well. It's just that the security will be handled in a different way for those databases. Okay. So this is one tenant. The other one which I have is this one. So this is the other tenant which I have. This is one of my acquaintances tenant with the name Fusion Dev Works. And I have requested him to give me an account there so that I can go ahead with this demo. My other tenant is not in use because I wasn't using it and Microsoft did shut that down. That's what we do. And we are not using the resources uh, in a rightful manner. Okay. So this is my SharePoint list, one of the SharePoint site, one of the SharePoint list. I'll just quickly go ahead and create an application out of this. I'm not going to go ahead. This is one just way of creating a Power App. Okay. Now there are a whole lot of different ways to create Power Apps. You know, Copilot is also the latest one, but this is one of the way to create a Power App. What it does, quickly spins up Power Apps Maker Studio, and it is by default connected with the data source or the list which we have selected. I will quickly spin up a Power Apps, simple looking mobile screen Power Apps here. Let's take a couple of seconds. Once it is done, what we will do is we will quickly test this application. We'll not make many of the changes here. Right now, if you will see, uh, even the list does not have any records here. Similarly, the app is also not showing any records here. We'll just quickly go ahead and create one record for that matter. Okay. I'll just put the same as description here. Select the priority. If I have any attachment, I can do that. Otherwise, I'll quickly go ahead and save. So this is one of the list item which is created. If you will see in the backend, this list item will be created automatically. Hopefully it should be, because this is the only list which is connected to the Power Apps. If you can see here, the record is also created, and even it shows who has created that record. Right now, one quick thing which I want to do, not right now, but I will do it later so that we understand why we are doing that as well. Okay, so this is the Power Apps which is created right now, and I will quickly go ahead. The name of the Power Apps is app, which is not a great name. I will go ahead and name it as tickets app. Externally shared tickets app. I'll just quickly name it like that. So once I get this name reflecting here, I will go ahead and publish this application. I'm not going to change any other aspect of it. Once it is published, I'll quickly go ahead to the environment and we'll quickly see that as well. So this is the application which is already created here. Now, how do we share it with external user? This is already created. Internal users will be able to use it if you go ahead and share it with internal users. But to share it with external user, the first thing first we need to have is we have to invite the external users as a guest user to this tenant. How do we do that? Not everyone will be having access to this. So this is Azure portal, Entra ID portal, as it is renamed, and it is also shown as Azure Active Directory is now Microsoft Entra ID. So this is a user tab in here. I can see all users here. What I have done, I went ahead and added this user. This is the user as a guest. How do we do that? We click on new user, invite external users. As soon as we click on external user, here we have to provide the email ID of the external user. So once we provide the email ID of external user, we provide rest of the other things as well. Send invite message. Make sure this is checked because this is how they will be able to accept the invite also. Once you, the minimum thing which we need to add here is the email address and display name. That's pretty much it. Though it is not mentioned as mandatory, but still it is it is going to be relevant and recommended to be added. And then quickly you can click on review and invite. As soon as you do that, what the other party will receive is they will receive an email to get the to accept the invitation from this portal. What they do, they just have to accept that invite, the other party. I will quickly see that if I have that email still. One second. Okay, this is how this email looks like. Okay. This is how the email looks like. And when they click on accept invitation, they will be invited to the tenant. Automatically, what will happen? In this way, where is it? So as you can see in this way, their user will be created here and they will be marked as guest user. Okay. This is identity is external Azure AD. And it also shows how it has been created, invitation based. So this is what we have to do. This is the first thing first, okay, for any external user to be able to access the application. Now, second thing is either now any of the external user need to have the base license to access the Power Apps or Power Automate, right? What is that license? That license is any of the Office 365 license or Dynamics license, okay? Either E3, E1 or E5. They need that first of all. Now, this can be tagged or this can be assigned by their parent organization also, or even by the organization which is inviting them to their organization. Okay. Now, in this case, either my organization can go ahead and assign the base license first, which is Microsoft Microsoft 365 E3 or E5, any one of it, or the parent organization of this user can also do that, which is Fusion DevWorks in this particular case, right? In this particular case, this user already has this Microsoft 365 base license. Okay. Now, as we have used SharePoint as the database for this application, and this application is not a premium application, hence the base license would work in this particular case. But if this database would have been Dataverse or SQL or any other for that matter, okay, in that particular case, either the parent organization of the user have to give them the specific premium license or per app license. Per app license will be assigned from this environment itself, from the organization which is inviting the user. But from their organization, if they want to access, their organization can have them Power Apps premium license. Okay. So this is one of the catch here. But in this particular case, we don't need this for this particular demo. So in this particular case, this user is already part of the Active Directory now. Okay. And now if I go to the application, this is the application. What we have to do is in the similar simple way how we used to share the user, share the application with the user. Now there is a catch here. One thing is we have to share the application first, right? I'll just search for Sunil. You can see it is also mentioning Sunil as guest. Okay. This also need, if you can see here, data permission. It also needs the permission to this. In this particular case, we have to maintain this explicitly. We have to share this access to this particular list explicitly to this user. But if this would have been Dataverse, we could have chosen the security role directly from here, automatically with that specific table. What I will do, I'll quickly share the app first with the user. While it's updating this, I'll go to the SharePoint list. There are two ways to share the list also. One is sharing the complete site, which is not recommended. Obviously, this is not an enterprise solution, so never try this in a production environment. This is just a demo and a POC, you can say. Other way to share it is the list specifically. How do we do that? Go to the list, click on permissions for this list. First thing first, what I have done is I have broken the permission, broken the inheritance. Second thing, I have added that member in owners for now. It can be added in editor as an editor also, member also. This is the user which I have added in the owners for now. Now we can see the application is shared, the email invitation. Always make sure that this is checked because this is the only way, the mail is the only way how user will be able to go and access this application. That is way there. That is the way there. Now let's go to the user tenant now, the other tenant. Now, if you will see in the inbox, there is another email that Sunil Kumar has shared externally shared tickets app with you. Okay, so this is the application. If I click run on app, run the app, I will be able to run this application. Now it will check if this is the simple dialog box which always comes as an consent. I click allow. This is the first time so it is taking time. So right now you will see that the other ticket which is created by Sunil is also showing up here. We can always have this gallery filtered out based on the logged in user so that it will not show. That was what I was trying to do earlier, but let's say another one. Shipping address correction. Okay, strangely this is not showing. I'm not sure why it was not showing in the drop down, but when I selected it is able to select. Now you can see that this is created here. Now let's go back to our main tenant and we'll see if we see the ticket there or not. Okay, I'll quickly play this application directly from here. And while we are doing that, we can also see in the backend as well. Tickets list. So if you can see here, this is created by the guest user. And this is the ticket which has been created by them. Another record which has been added by them. Similarly, user can also see it here. Now let's go quickly 1 second and I'll refresh this and just mention that filter tickets list. So here I have to add another filter so that I can add. I'll not do it right now anyways. but that's another filter we can add to this gallery based on the logged in user. And that's pretty much it, which I wanted to showcase in today's session. And another thing which I will quickly show you also is that, one second. I just want to plug in the blog also, which has been already there. So this is the blog. If you will quickly go ahead and see on the LinkedIn, if you can, you will be able to find. I'll obviously share the link as well. This has the step-by-step process as well on how we can achieve that, right? How to assign the license and all. So this is it, which I wanted to showcase. Any question, any query you have, I'm open to those, and I'll be able to answer those for you.
Thanks, Sunil. There's a couple of hands up if you want to work through.
Yes, please.
Zubair? I'm not sure. That one's been up for a while.
Go ahead, Zubair. If you have any query, feel free.
Yes, I have one to share this app without inviting the external user. For example, publicly, if I want to make the form that will be accessible for the public users.
So,
like for example, I have a requirement. I want to make this form public. If I want to deploy this form publicly, or if I want to get some input from the public user, so is it possible to do so?
Okay. Okay. To answer this, we have to go to the basics of Power Apps first. Okay. I'll take you back a little bit, and then I'll be able to answer to this, which will be a logical answer in that case. Okay. So Power Apps is a user-based application, first of all. Okay. Now, when it is a user-based application, definitely it needs an authenticated user to access it. Okay. When it needs an authenticated user to access it, the authentication happens only via one way, which is Azure Active Directory, which is Entra ID. Okay. If we don't have that there, user will not be able to access it. So I hope this answers your question. What is the way? Okay. What is the way how we can make something for them or to be publicly available? There are two ways to do it. Obviously, there are three ways to do it. Let me go to one by one on those. One is you can create a SharePoint site which is externally enabled, externally shared, okay, publicly available. However, this is not a recommended way, but I'm just sharing all the ways here, okay, and let them access the list there directly and add them. There are a lot of cons in this solutioning. I'll let you go ahead and see those. Okay. Second is creating a Power Pages form. Okay. Power Pages is another tool which is specifically for these kind of scenarios wherein user wants to or user can have the publicly access available and they can enter some data and organization can capture it. However, Power Pages also runs on two different licensing models for consumer endpoint. One is on the authenticated user basis and one is on anonymous user basis. So always you can choose the anonymous user based. They can go ahead and fill the form. Third one is Microsoft Forms. Anonymously, user can go ahead and fill the form. They can enter the data which organization will be able to receive. On the other hand, the anonymous forms does not give access to add the attachments. Okay, so make sure.
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
Actually, this is what I was talking about, because the attachment basically we cannot add in the Microsoft form. So how can we capture that requirement? Let's suppose if you want the attachment also from the public user without the authentication.
Okay, I have not tried it, but I'm not sure if Microsoft Forms Pro is an answer to this. I'll leave it to you to go ahead and test it. Or if anyone else in this group who is very well versed with that area, maybe can answer on behalf of me. Yeah. Okay, let's move forward. Yes, Samir, please.
Yeah, so you mentioned that either the parent organization will provide the user with the license or you have to do that.
Yes.
Is there a way to know whether the user is already licensed to use Power Apps? So we're not assigning the license twice.
Hmm. Uh, that that can only be given, that information can only be given by their parent organization only.
Gotcha.
Right? Okay, now there is another way also, okay? There is another way to let user access the application, which I mentioned is on the per app basis.
Right.
But that per app license, now there is a good thing about per app license is that that particular license or passes are assigned to the tenant, and then to the environment.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Now, which is this environment? This environment is the environment from where the application is getting shared by the external user. Okay. So in this
Right.
particular case, those app passes or that particular license has to be acquired by uh, the sender organization, I would say. I'm not sure how to name it, but by the root organization who wants to share the app with the external user. So that has to be provided by them. Okay, because
Right.
it
Gotcha.
is environment based. It's not environment and then user based, basically. So as
Gotcha.
soon as
One more
the
question.
app passes are assigned to the environment, whenever the user open that application, automatically the pass is assigned to that user.
Got you. One more question, if you don't mind. Apart from the look and feel, when we compare Power Apps and Power Pages, and then the kind of the basic differences between them, is there any benefit of doing it this way instead of going using Power Pages?
Okay.
Power
See,
Pages is yeah.
So these two are not competitor to each other.
Yeah.
Right. These are complementing to each other always. Right. There is a specific use case which is for Power Apps, be it for Power Apps Canvas or for Power Apps model-driven application. And there is a specific set of scenarios where Power Pages is the best fit. Now, what are those scenarios? I'll give you a couple of those scenarios. For Power Pages, those scenarios are, for example, if an organization wants to build a catalog of properties, right? Catalog of their items, what they produce in their organization, with the basic details of that, and they want to capture some feedback, simple forms like that. Right? Now, this is I'm talking from the out of box Power Pages building. Right? Yeah. Power Pages can be equally done in a pro code way also, which from the client side we can use JavaScript and jQuery. From the server side we can use Liquid. Right? So that is another way of using the pro code way of doing the Power Pages. The look and feel, everything will be as it is a pro code, so we can make whatever we want to make. It is like that. And one of the best example I have seen for Power Pages customization is Scottish Summit website.
Typically, in
Scottish
Power
Summit website.
What type of data we can take as an input?
So Scottish Summit website is one of the best example of Power Pages website. Now, when we talk about Power Apps specifically, Power Apps specifically was built either to give users a pixel perfect way to create their applications, right? And the other way is the model driven application, which is based on the data model, especially, which is obviously Power Apps Canvas has a more client facing way to work towards, and the Power Apps model driven is more towards the backend members. Right? It is more towards that. So yeah,
Right.
eventually I would say that these are complementing each other, but there are many functionalities which Power Apps provide, but Power Pages are not able to do that. For example, camera control. For example, the pen input control, right? So these are not available on Power Pages. So here and there we have to always decide on what is the what's actually required in the use case, and then based on that we can go ahead and decide.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sunil.
Thank you so much. Yes, Zubair. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So in Power Pages, basically, what type of information we can take as an input from the public users? Like, what are the features? For example, if I want to the users to upload a attachment, so are they able to do so or no? Like, we have a
I have not
restriction
tried it with public users, but I have tried the data part with public users. Those they are able to do. I am 100% not sure on the attachment part actually. Maybe I'll have to look that into, and then I'll be able to answer that for you.
Okay.
Yes, Vinay.
Yes, Sunil. Means I don't have any question. I just wanted to answer the question for the Zubair. Yeah, we can use attachment in Power Pages.
For public users as well.
Yeah, for public user as
Oh,
well.
that's great.
With
That's great.
yeah, that will not be for the authenticated user if you don't want to
Anonymous user.
consume license. Right? Yeah.
That's
Means,
great.
Sunil, if it's possible, means it will be great if we can have this similar kind of scenario with the Power Pages, because that's what I have been observing with my career, that there are a lot of clients who are asking to build the pages where they can just expose few of their datas through Power Pages. Means I've been exploring it, but I could not find any relevant or more developer friendly resources available online. That's why I'm requesting it. Means if we can
Understood.
have any references, that will be really helpful for all the
Understood.
developers and architects.
Understood. Understood. I'll definitely have to work on that, and hopefully soon I'll be able to share that. However, on the other hand, just unrelated, there is another blog up on my LinkedIn around integration of Power Pages with SharePoint to store the documents. So maybe you can have a look. That might give you another perspective if that is required in your use case.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, I think we are good.
Speaking of Scottish Summit, are you going?
Oh no, unfortunately not this time.
Oh,
I
okay.
really
Is there
want
any?
to actually, but I have a lot
Yeah,
of work to do right now.
there's lots of people coming over for it. Yeah, it's going to be a busy one.
It would have
It's,
been great.
Yeah, I was talking to someone about it actually earlier. I need to get my ticket for the quiz, the cabaret. I'll be gutted if I miss out and they still have a ticket. But yeah, I think Franco built that Power Pages site, did he? Is that Franco's work?
Yes. It's Franco Musa, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has put in a lot of efforts there. Yes, I was in one of the event when he was speaking, and he did mention that. He also showed like how he has built it, from where all he has picked those bootstrap controls, and that's a lot of work. I cannot imagine doing that, but yeah, I really appreciate them creating a kind of a showcase for us specifically. I always take that as one of the showcase whenever I'm talking about Power Pages.
Yeah, no, he knows his stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think him and Rory are doing a session, I think.
Yes, that was a session with Rory and Franco.
Yeah. No, that is funny pair. Great guys. Right, before we wrap up, are there any more questions or comments from anybody on the call today? No? Okay. It's been recorded. It worked, Sunil. You'll be glad to know. So we'll post that link out tomorrow to the recording, and it'll be available on the website as well. So thank you so much for coming back, and
thank you so much.
Let's do it again soon.
Definitely, fourth time, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah, for
All
this.
right,
And thank you
thank
so much,
you.
everyone, to joining in. And thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.